Morning. I've had quite a bit of feedback about my video on raptors, and quite a lot of people saying that they find it really useful to understand those voices that they hear in their head. So I thought I would do another video on explaining to you where they come from. Um, what I don't want is people to be cruel to themselves when they hear those voices. And so I think if you understand where they come from, then you can be a little bit kinder to yourself. So you're going to have to excuse me because I have notes, so I'm trying to be a little bit better at this video thing. So, as children, we had parental influences, and not just from our parents, but from our teachers. All sort of adults influenced us, and they influenced us in how we should behave and how we should think and how we should feel. And that became particularly important to us in setting our survival behaviours when we were in times of stress. So if you can imagine a child that was bullied and they went home to their parents and said that they were having a really difficult time and being treated really unfairly, you may have heard parents say, "Oh, ignore them. Ignore them. They're just bullies, or they're jealous of you." And we will integrate those sentences from our parental influences and use those every time that we feel bullied and harassed. We will think, okay, well, I'm just going to ignore them, and they're bullying me because they're jealous of me. Now, in terms of our parental behaviours and how the adults around us will have acted when we were feeling sad and stressed, it's quite likely that within lots of loving homes that your parents will have given you lots of love and affection and lots of extra hugs, and they may have cooked your favourite meal or taken you out for your favourite meal, or even bought you a little treat or a present. And what do we as children learn from that? Like I said, we take away the thoughts that actually I need to ignore people that hurt me, and when I'm sad I ignore that, and that they're bullying me because they're jealous, and I can feel better and comforted with affection, with food, and with items, with gifts, with shopping. No, I'm not saying in any way that what our parents did was wrong, because I'm a mother and I do exactly the same. I comfort my child in any way that I can, to try and give him the tools that will make him happy, and survival tools. The thing is that these are survival tools we learned as children. And now that we're adults, we need to reality test them. We know as an adult that it's not going to be healthy for us to eat and consume lots and lots of lovely food to make ourselves feel better when we've experienced an uncomfortable emotion. But where we've had this parental influence from very early on, that will be a natural thing for us to do, a natural voice, a natural introjection from our parents from childhood that will make us turn to food. And like I said, with some people, it's turning to other things. It's turning to physical comfort. It can be turning to excessive spending. These parental interjections affect us all differently. But often people that are severely overweight will have been comforted with food, and will find food a great comfort. I certainly find food a great comfort. And I know when I'm turning to food that it's because there's some really uncomfortable emotions that I'm trying to hide from. So, as adults, we do need to reality test these thoughts. The thoughts, as I said in my last video, are the raptors. There's the mean one, and there's the nice one. And the nice one will say lots of soothing things like ignore them and ignore them, and they're jealous of you, and don't worry about it. And the mean one can say things like, "Oh, you're going to have to deal with this for the rest of your life. Just get over it. Just get over it. Just accept this is going to happen." The mean one puts you down and makes you feel not very good. So how do we get ourselves from that position when we're feeling overwhelmed by the raptors, sort of in a very tackling our child ego state, and the childhood voices that we have, how do we get ourselves into an adult place so that we can make really good decisions based on the here and now and what we need to survive in the situation now? And we do that by using grounding techniques. And you may have heard of these, but one, which is my favourite grounding technique, that is to look around you, look around the room and see if you can name 5 things that you can see. So name 5 things that you can see. So it may be, in mine, I've got the cushions, I've got the sofa, I can see a wooden table, wooden floor. I'm looking out behind the screen, there's a window to the garden, and I can see the trees. Once you've named the things, think of 4 things that you can touch, you can feel, sensations. So I can feel me squeezing my hands. I can feel my feet in slippers, and I can feel them on the floor. I can run my hand on my leg, and I can feel the sensation of that. Work your way through the senses. The next thing that you need to do is think of three things that you can hear. Now, that's a challenging one often because it's very quiet where I am, but I could think, I can hear my foot moving on the floor, I can make sounds, I can hear the birds just quietly outside this morning, or you might be able to hear traffic noise. Once you've done that, I want you to think of 2 things that you can smell. Now, I can still very much smell the coffee in the room from this morning, and I can smell the shake that I've had, which was the fruits of the forest, which I'm just rediscovering. And the last thing I want you to do is think of one nice thing about yourself. One nice thing. I can think of lots of not very nice things still. One nice thing about myself is that I'm kind, and I'm doing this to help people, so I'm kind. And that's important to me. So once you've done that technique, you should feel pretty grounded. If you don't, repeat it. Just repeat the technique until you feel that those overwhelming sensations and those raptors have gone. Now, you should be in a better place to be able to make a decision about what you're going to do to comfort yourself in a time of stress. So rather than having that panic and those urges that, oh, just eat, just eat off plan, just have that piece of cake, just do whatever, you should feel much calmer. Your adult ego state should be engaged, and you should be able to say, actually, no, that's something that I used to do. That's not something that I want to do for me now. So instead, I'm going to do something else to soothe me. Now, thinking of ways to look after yourself and to soothe yourself, it is really, really important that you identify what sort of things do soothe you. I really struggled with this at first because I thought, how do I take care of myself? How do I give myself nice things and things that will make me calm and happy? And I found through trial and error what those things are. They're reaching out to my friends, having a conversation, popping down to a gorgeous pub down the road to have a sparkling water, taking a walk with the dogs. If I can, run a bath and make it a really special bath, so lots of posh bubbles, dim the lights and just chill and relax, perhaps take a book in. Getting my nails done is something, or having a massage, so I have somebody up the road who I can go to for that. So I have a list of things that when I'm feeling particularly stressed, and I can bring myself into adult, I can say, actually, these are the things that will make me feel better, and they're not going to knock me off track. Because if I knock myself off my track and off my plan, then I'm going to feel pretty crappy about that. And the cycle starts all over again. So, I hope you understand a bit better about where those raptor voices come from. They are just your parental voices that were there to keep you safe as a child. And that now that you want to re-establish your relationship with food, we need to just readdress those and really reality test them and think, are they suiting us now? And that is absolutely possible by just grounding yourself and making a new decision each time. And each time you keep making that new decision, you're going to be reinforcing a new set of rules for yourself. That's it. Okay. Good luck, everybody.